Hi, I'm Cosmo, welcome to my channel. So, I'd like to share a few tips on how to play orcs in 3v3 and 2v2 games. My role when playing this race is that I'm responsible for a good start for the team, crowd controlling fights, where I'm responsible for binding the enemy units with my cannon fodder, and help to disable and take down enemy titans quickly. Let's begin then. The first thing you have to take care of is to select the proper elites for your race or champions. These are the three I chose for my build, let's say. We have the Weird Zapnogan, Big Mac Wazmaka, and Beauty the Morkana. She's a beauty, isn't she? Why did I choose these three? I'll show you. First one, Weird Zapnogan. This is the first champion I drop. It costs 3 elite points. I drop it because by drop I mean I call it to the battlefield. I chose this one because it has a lot of damage and mobility, and where it comes from is from his 3 skills: Scrap Blast, Here We Go, and Fist of Gork. The first one, Scrap Blast, Zapnogan fires scrap shots in entire direction, grants shields, and does damage in a cone. Each charge of Scrap Shield increases the range of Scrap Blast. Scrap Shield is the amount of scrap this elite or champion, I will use the word champion, picked from the ground. The amount of scrap it ate also increases the amount of shield this champion will have. So this one pretty much it's self-explanatory, right? You just cast a cone of damage. It takes about half of HP of light infantry at the beginning of the game. It also obviously depends on how many charges you have on your champion. Half HP, maybe more. I can't really remember. It's a decent skill. The only problem is that you have to get close to the enemy. Second, Here We Go. This is an amazing skill. It gives you great mobility on the battlefield because it has a huge range, so you can jump with your champion to aid your friend, aid your teammates on the battlefield. So what you do is just jump and cast the third skill, which is the nuke, and with these two you pretty much can fly over most, like, half of the map, or a huge part of the map. So how does it work? Zapnogan teleports to the target position, causes damage over time in a circle. Upon completion, he teleports allies to his original location to the target position. It's not only a great skill to teleport your champion, but also to take orcs with you. So at the beginning, usually it's enough to just teleport your champion. But in the late game, when you have vehicles, it's an amazing skill to take care of stuff like artillery. When you see like enemy's artillery, you just take some tank busters with this champion. Boom, you teleport on top of the artillery, and it's cleaned. So how it works? You have some of your units. You have a destination. You click. Boom, you teleport. What is not shown here is that now you're channeling damage around you, which is great for cleaning light infantry. It finishes off the beginning units of pretty much all the primary units of all races. So if you jump into like a bunch of orcs or a bunch of marines, and you will live long enough to channel this, you just clean the field. It's also great to defend your points. For example, if you move your units to another point on the other edge of the map, and all you have is your champion while somebody is taking your point, you can just jump into the middle of them, do the teleport stuff, kill most of them, and finish them off with the rest of your skills, right? The third one, Fist of Gork. That's a cool nuke. You aim, you cast, you deal damage and stun units. So usually it's a combo. You cast this, and then you cast the first skill, and you finish off most of Marines usually. Okay, so that's the first one. This is how I begin my game. The first elite I drop, or the first champion. Second one, Big Mac Mazumaka. This one is annoying and amazing at the same time. It can be annoying to it can be annoying to your opponents because of this because of his third skill, Scrap Turrets. Mazumaka upgrades the 5 nearest piles of scrap into turrets that automatically engage targets. Turrets expire if the ability ends or if the scrap they are on is destroyed. So pretty much what you do is, after a battle, when there are like some buildings or some vehicles were taken down, you just hit E and you get 5 towers that defend you or help you attack. So while your units are walking to your position, you can still, you don't have to run from the battlefield. You can keep up the fight. That's great when you are either when your units were killed or you're just helping on the other side of the map or whatever. And W, orbital scrap. You drop a scrap. You drop a scrap on the map and deal damage in a circle. The damage isn't big. It's mostly for dropping it's mostly like a combo. You drop the scrap and then you turn it into a tower. You can also drop a scrap on your other champions to help them regenerate their stacks for their skills, because the skills on the other heroes, each champion has a skill that has stacks, and it needs scraps to cast these skills, right? So for this champion, he needs scraps to summon scraps, so you can summon scrap, pick it, summon again. And the previous one, Widbozeb Noggin, requires scraps for his shield and I think for all of his skills. That's why they don't have a counter, because there's only one counter for this champion here. So you don't have a counter here, and you need scraps for casting these skills, I believe. If I'm wrong, sorry, can't remember right now. Okay, so coming back to this one, and his first skill is what I love this champion for, Tractor Beam. Mazumaka attaches his Tractor Beam to a target, grants a shield, or damages and slows. Reactivating knocks back the target to Mazumaka. If scrap is targeted, Mazumaka jumps to its position. This is, on one hand, you can defend your Titan, for example, shielded. But what I use it mostly for is to either disable, and it's like you can snipe enemy champions with it because it slows, or you can finish off enemy Titans, because as you see, this skill deals % damage, right? So it doesn't matter how big it is, you will just deal % damage, which is crazy, because this champion can single-handedly take half of HP of a Titan of any race. So what you do is you just cast it on the unit. This one shows an offensive use, or defensive one. This is a shield. So what you do is you cast it on an enemy unit, which is usually a champion or a Titan. You don't really use the pull, but the idea is that you keep channeling it. The cool thing is that you can move while you channel it, and the range is quite high. And what it does, it takes like half of, as I said, it takes half of HP of a Titan, and it can help you finish off enemy champions, especially the Eldar ones, which are like jumping, running, which are really mobile. So this is a great skill to counter these champions. I usually drop this champion last, or only if I have problems with enemy champions. So it's like this one, then this one, and this one at the end to counter enemy Titan or enemy champions. And the third one uh, beauty. Well, this one is simple. You just have a shield. You have a you have a force field that protects you from projectiles, and you can use it again to deal damage. I'll show now. Boom, 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 boom. Shield. Shield again. Okay, you can give the shield to other units as well. Boom, boom. Okay, so that's you give away the shield. Sorry, that was my error. Rocket Fist. It's a nuke. So you nuke in an area. Then you should always remember to take back the this rocket, your fist, because only after you use this skill you get another skill to get back your fist, and only then you get a cooldown to be able to use this skill again. It's a reinforcing point, so your orcs can reinforce the units, and it also has the Gretchen repair squad. So usually the combo I use is I put on a shield, I cast the Gretchen repair squad, and I repair myself. You can skip these, just use the primary skills. I didn't show you skills for this one. Here as well, you pretty much you don't really want to use the secondary skills. Just use the primary ones. This is an example of how the towers work. They aren't too like amazing, but if you get 5 of them, they can help you with some damage, and there's like a psychological effect to them. So boom, dropping scrap. See, boom. It's doesn't do big damage, but it's something. So these are the 3. This is a design for this one is for early game, and these ones are for late game. So again, I work as a support for my team usually. So this one has mobility. This one takes care of titans, and this one is a titan itself. But that's for champions. Okay, now on to the doctrines. The doctrines I use are meant for early game. I chose Helen Scrap, which lets your units reinforce on the scrap that's on the ground. So if you lost some members of your squad, you can just eat the scrap. They go back. So it's also based on infantry for me. Second one, Thump from the Sky. This is a skill that's shared, that has a shared cooldown among all the infantry in your army. What it does, it makes your orcs channel for a few seconds, and it drops stone, which throws other units around. This is a great skill when you are losing a battle and have like two squads versus 1, for example. You just Q or W, you channel, they fall around, and you can wait you buy some time for other units to join. Next one is Get 'em Boys, which is a speed buff. Whenever your boys are together, they get a speed buff out of combat. So up to three groups of boys next to each other buff each other, increase each other's speed, which is great for mobility for the units. That if you have an army, this way you make sure that your boys or your cannon fodder, they run first, and they are faster to reach other units. So this one is short. That's it. There's the choice. The choice isn't so huge for useful doctrines for infantry, unfortunately, currently at this point of the game. So these are the 3. The next important aspect of the game is how you start your game. So I'd like to show you how I begin my games on base of this replay. So the first thing I do is I send my builders to the middle of the map to build a war banner. Why I will explain in a second. Second thing I do, I build boys and the Gretchens, and I set my gathering point to the middle, so I never forget to move my units from my base to where the battle is going on. So the purpose of my Gretchens going to mid is that I will build a war banner in the middle. By the time they get mid, I already have power. So I made them build a tower here or here. Then orcs are running mid to cover them, and next Gretchens are building boys' huts. I usually build it a bit closer nowadays, and then another Gretchens just for building purposes, right? So this one's build a Waaaagh tower in the mid. Why they do so? It's because usually if people come mid, they will try use their builder to take over this point. But while they have to capture this point and then they start to build a tower, in this time I will have my tower already finished and I will have a unit of orcs mid, so I will be able to take down the builder first and the tower right after it, and then to take over the mid. And this is my purpose as orcs. I rush for the most important objectives, do a banner rush, and take control of this point. This rush is also great because, as you can see, usually people start taking points, the closest points to their position first. So while this marine is taking his closest point, I'm already establishing control mid, and just one of my colleagues, one of my partners can take the points behind me, right? So the idea is to take this one, this one, and this one, and this is how you win 3 versus 3. In 2 versus 2, I usually go for the point that should belong to the other player, or that's in mid, to be there first and to win a bigger part of the map. That's it for this one. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it useful. Please tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button or the like button. And remember, if anyone asks you what's the best race in Dawn of War, you say...